Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back for another card review. In this video, we're going to talk about our Mega Man Zero, our 4.5% jackpot card. Alright, so I've been playing a lot of Zero, and I can say that this guy is a very solid 4.5% jackpot card. Alright, in terms of damage, in terms of versatility and stuff like that. Alright, so let's go through his skill, whether he's good or not, and whether or not you should draw him. Alright, so starting with the leader skill, when a team consists of only fire or machina, right? So this allows you to play in a mono machina play style. Alright, you can put in cards like once again, you can put in Media, you can put in Yoko, and all these human boosters, right, to boost Zero's damage, right? And then I was quite close to hitting maximum damage with one of the Zero team setup, right? Maybe I'll just share it with you at the end of the video. Alright, so team attack times 6.5 and HP times 1.5. So notice that Zero doesn't have any recovery boost, but not to worry, we'll point something out later. Alright, so 1.5 is actually a quite a decent boost. Right, so I could actually rack up about 50,000 or 60,000 HP after transformation. So point number 2, for every group of fire or heart runes dissolve, you actually get a +1 combo. Right, so for every one set of fire or one set of heart, you actually get 2 combos. Alright, so to the max, you can stack up to 8 combos. Right, so that is actually pretty decent already. Right, I think my record was 30 combos, including Sky Drop. Right, so point number 3, for every combo made, you're gonna recover 1.5k HP regardlessly. Right, so this allows you to bypass things like 1% recovery, 10% recovery, or any recovery debuff that you're going to have while facing certain boss or enemies. Right, so this is a very good plus point for Zero. Right, and then when 6 or more combos are made, team attack times 2.5 additionally. Right, so you can see in terms of damage multiplier and the additional multiplier that is more than 6 combos made isn't that difficult to hit anyways. Right, as if you have this point number 2, with every group of fire or heart dissolve, you have an extra +1. Right, so overall you can just treat Zero's base multiplier as 6.5 times 2.5, a very easy multiplier to hit. Right, so let's talk about Zero's active skill. Right, so first active skill is at CD4, explode all frozen runes. Right, so this is kind of a situational use. Right, so just there for you to kind of counter certain skills. Right, so all frozen runes meaning that any full frozen board, you can actually solve that pretty instantly as well. Right, point number 2, you are going to convert 3 non-fire and non-heart into fire enchanted machina runestones. Right, so just a small little convert, just 3 runes, but enough for you to launch any sort of damage. Right, if your board is unfortunately have no heart runes or no fire runes whatsoever. Point number 3, ignite all enemies. Right, so we have another ignite card. Right, so there is one non-jackpot card, which is Alia, that actually ignites. Right, so Zero here ignites enemy as well. Right, so if you were to bring an ignite card, right, I would suggest bringing Zero instead of Alia. Right, if you're not playing Zero as a leader. Right, so we have an ignite card here, and then you can change affected enemies into fire attribute for 1 round, and then for 1 round, the more fire runestones dissolve, the higher the character's attack to the max times 5, or 10 runestones dissolve. Not too bad, right? 10 runestones dissolve, and you get times 5. We have certain combo cards. I mean, we have Zero here, which already converts you 3 fire runes. Right, if you pair this with Mega Man X, right, you can actually convert even more fire runes. So 10 fire runes isn't too difficult to hit for maximum multiplier, in my opinion. Alright, so second active skill, let's talk about Zero's switching. Right, so at CD8, you're allowed to switch to his awakening form. Right, so while you switch, for 1 round, you can dodge the first attack of the first attacking enemy. Right, so this is extremely useful for those enemies that kind of reduce his damage received over time. Right, the one that have 100% damage reduction, then it drops to 95, drops to 80. Right, those kind of annoying skill, you can actually use Zero to dodge if you don't have enough HP to tank a hit, right, or to kind of just dodge while you don't have while you have low HP. Right, very situational switching skill here. Right, but nonetheless, it's a very useful skill. I can foresee this being used in the future when this card is not playable as a leader. Right, so point number 3, if the character fuel is 100%, you actually get to dodge all attacks of enemy. So this refers to consecutive attacks from enemies, such as, for example, above 9 combo enemy, right? And you do 1 combo, right? The enemy is going to attack you 8 times. So pretty much, if you are at 100% fuel, you're going to dodge all that 8 hits, right? So a very useful card as well. Alright, so before we move on to the transformation part of Zero, let's talk about the team skill for Zero here. Right, so point number 1, extend rune movement time regardlessly. Right, so this is always good to have. Point number 2, we have Runestone's effect possession. Right, so this unfortunately is not possessing effects for all the attributes. Right, so if this is referring to heart equals fire, fire equals heart. That's all. Right, so which is so Zero lies more towards a full fire playstyle or full fire machina playstyle, right? So I did a gameplay in which I brought in Galileo just to do a skill unlock for one of the stages, right? And then you can see that Galileo seldom attacks because the fire runes doesn't possess effect of, for example, dark runestones, right? So attack up. So what this means is every time you activate an active skill, right, there will be an additional team attack boost, right, in which to do extra damage, right? So do activate any active skill, just any active skill in the team, right, during the boss fight, and then you will deal more damage. So point number 4, we have CD of Rockman X Dive, Diamond Seal characters, -3 after entering a stage. So this is extremely useful, especially if you are running full Rockman X Dive character or team, right? So if you see, we have X, the 1% card, which is at CD2 while entering the battle, right? You can kind of activate X straight away and you can get that 15% fuel up and ready to go already. So we have a change in leader skill, right? So we're going to talk more about that later for the transformation part. And of course, acquired energy tank. This is pretty much the usual for all the Rockman X Dive characters, so I'm not going to talk about that anymore. Alright, so there is a continuation for team skill, right? But that is going to be a situational team skill, and I'm going to show that right now. Okay, so continuing the team skill. So this team skill only applies if you have Iris in the team as well, as a team member, right? So if you play Zero with Iris in the team, you can actually have these 3 extra team skill, which is you can ignore burning and you can ignore sticky runestones as well, right? So these 2 is actually very common nowadays for enemy stages, especially burning or cross burning and stuff like that, right? So having Iris in the team is very useful. And on top of that, you have Iris -5 CD upon entering the stage, so you can kind of use Iris almost immediately. So as mentioned, you can use this will be triggered if you bring leader ally 0 and you have Iris in the team. Alright, so upon transformation, we have an upgrade in his leader skill, right? So let's take a look at it once again. So now we also have the same thing, fire attribute or machina playstyle. We have team attack times 6.5 and 1.3 HP, right? So I think I noticed there's a drop in HP, right? But we will have more recovery in return. Alright, so you can see point number 2 is basically the same. You have an additional combo for every fire and heart runestones dissolve, but this time to the max 12 combos instead of 8 combos. Alright, and every combo made, you will recover 2000 HP instead of 1500 HP. And then we have an additional 6 combos. When 6 combos are made, we have team attack times 2.5, and this one there's no change. Alright, so overall I think that this is going to be slightly better if you're going to do more combos, right? If not, it's pretty much going to be the same. Alright, so while editing the video, I realized that there is a typo in this screenshot. So apparently there is no drop in terms of HP boost, right? So it is still 1.5. Yeah, so there is a typo here. So basically the only upgraded portion here is that extra combo cap, which is increased from 8 to 12, and then we have an additional recovery, HP recovery from 2000 HP instead of 1500. Alright, so overall there is not much change in terms of leader skill, right? Damage wise will only increase if you are doing more combos or dissolving more heart runes or fire runes. Alright, so last but not least, let's move on to the active skill for the Awaken Zero. So EP1, right? So after transformation, we're running EP now. So EP1, we have explode electrifying runestones and runestones of enemies attribute to generate runestones not of enemies attribute, right? So point number 1 to take note of. So this is gonna explode electrifying runes. So pre-transformation is explode frozen runes, right? So this shows that you must time your transformation well. So if you know that there's an enemy with frozen runes at the back and you want to explode them, right, you try not to transform them, transform 0 too early, right, to kind of counter the frozen runes. And then, you know, if there is electrifying runes, you might want to drag out the battle long enough for you to transform and then explode electrifying runes, right? So there is a bit of a timing gameplay right here, right? So, and note that runestone generation here is not of enemies attribute, and so this means that it's not going to necessarily drop fire runes, right? So that is something for you to take note of. So if more than 8 or more are exploded, right, characters EP +2, so this is kind of like a bonus, so you don't really have to necessarily activate it, in my opinion, right? So most importantly is to get rid of electrifying runes if you have to, right? And then point number 3 is the one that is more important. The first 8 runestones to be dropped in the first batch will be Fire Machina runestones, right? So that would actually give you more damage as well as 2 more combos, right? Because dissolving fire runes give you an additional combo. Alright, and EP2 is gonna be EP2 is at there is a very major typo here. EP8, I believe. Okay, so EP8 we are gonna turn 5 non-fire, non-hard runestones into enchanted Fire Machina runestones. So this is kind of the upgraded version of the pre-transformation. So instead of 3, you have 5 now, and it's same thing, ignites all enemies, and this time it's gonna convert them into fire attribute for 2 rounds instead of 1 round. Alright, and then also for 2 rounds, characters' damage will be dealt regardless of initial shield. So this is kind of like a bonus. You don't have it pre-transformation, and then after that, the more fire runes dissolve, the higher the character's attack to the max times 6 for 10 fire runes. So the requirement doesn't change, but the max attack change, right, from times 5 to times 6. And if an enemy is defeated, character is EP +2. So I believe once you on this kind of active skill, most likely you're gonna defeat the enemy, right? Unless it's a very bad spin, right? Or you kind of misjudge the damage, right? If not, character EP most likely is gonna +2. So overall, I find that 0, right, in terms of utility is kind of there, right? Combo count is there. We have skills to get rid of frozen runes, electrifying runes, and stuff like that, right? So pairing 0 with Iris is actually a very good idea, right, to get rid of burning as well as sticky runes as well, right? And then you can see that Iris active skill kind of pairs really well with 0 as well, right? On top of that, if you have X, you can put X into 0 team, and X is going to convert into fire attribute as well, right? So I'm going to talk a bit of my team combination. So recently I've been playing a lot of 0, right? So as mentioned, I have my leader is 0. I have Iris in my team. I have X, right? So Alia, the non-jackpot card, is very good to put in as well, right? So if you have other fire cards, you can put in cards like Yoko. You can put in cards like Smilodon, right, to kind of boost Zero's damage, right? So of course, if you're using Smilodon, you want to put Smilodon next to your leader, and then maybe Yoko after and stuff like that, right? So you're gonna boost your leader 0 damage massively, right? And that is how I almost hit maximum damage in the game. Alright, so if you guys have any other team combinations you have for 0 or any unique matchup, you can share it in the comments below as well, right? So if not, that's all for 0's card review. It's been a very long one. I believe X card review is going to be even longer. Alright, so if you enjoyed this card review, do give it a like, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.